One. Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Gardner. I'm the director of the Human Services Program at Northeastern University in Boston. For the next couple of weeks, I'll be interviewing some of our alumni to learn more about how this pandemic is impacting their work. The Human Services Program prepares students for practice in fields focused on social change. Upon graduating, our students pursue practice in direct service, such as clinical and therapeutic settings, case management or advocacy, nonprofit program planning, development or management, or social political advocacy. In some instances, our alumni are engaged in research, such as the alum we will be talking to today. These brief conversations will give us all an opportunity to think about issues that impact communities and individuals that maybe aren't being discussed in the news. These are going to be unedited, unscripted, and imperfect. And with that, I will start the conversation with Dr. Julie Miller. A little bit about Julie Miller. She is a research scientist at the MITAge lab. She graduated in 2009 from Northeastern with a dual degree in Human Services and American Sign Language. While at Northeastern, she was active in student group leadership and served as a service learning teaching assistant. Julie received her master's in social work with a concentration in gerontology from the University of California, Berkeley, and her PhD in social work from Boston College. Her practice experience has included work with older adults in community-based, medical, and applied research settings, as well as children and adults with disabilities. Julie has served as an instructor at Northeastern in the College of Social Sciences and Humanities and at the College of Professional Studies. She's been working at the MITAge lab since 2012, where she contributes to social science research about life tomorrow. So Julie, tell us a little bit about the work the MITAge lab is doing.
Great. So first, thank you so much for having me and for doing these interviews during this really important time. The MITAge lab where I work conducts interdisciplinary social science research. And so I have a social work background, of course, and a human services background. I work with people with political science backgrounds, with psychology backgrounds, engineers. And together, what we really try to think about is, what does life tomorrow look like? And how do we need to plan proactively to make sure that people can be living their healthiest lives possible?
Great. Tell us a little bit about the projects you're currently working on.
Right now, work that I am finding myself very involved with is really specifically related to COVID-19. We conduct ongoing research at the Age Lab about a variety of topics, but as we all know, COVID-19 is profoundly impacting many domains of people's lives, including older adults, who are considered to be among the most vulnerable populations related to COVID-19. And so an example of research that I'm involved with right now includes a national survey of people of all ages related to their attitudes and their behaviors about COVID-19, as well as qualitative research that we're doing with a group that we have at the Age Lab called the 85 Plus Lifestyle Leaders Workshop. And this is a group of people who are all 85 and older, and we want to be learning from them through phone interviews and through a diary study. What does it mean to be, to be among the most vulnerable of populations, and for people to be adjusting, their day-to-day life in light of what's happening right now.
Great. What are some of the unique ways this pandemic is impacting that work?
What we have certainly found at the Age Lab is that with the pandemic affecting everyone's day-to-day work situation, we of course are no longer having subjects come into the Age Lab for studies like we might normally do. And so it's really forcing us to be creative about how we are engaging our research participants. So moving more toward phone and video conferencing for sure, for research purposes, but also, as I mentioned, really making sure that the research that we're doing is on time and is reflecting the issues that are impacting many of us right now.
Mm-hmm. Great. So what do you wish people knew about aging adults?
What I wish people knew about older adults is that, yes, in this particular case of COVID-19, that this is a group that is deemed to be among the most vulnerable. However, we also know from many older adults that because of their lived experience, it's very possible that they may have been through experiences maybe like this one that we're going through right now. And certainly not exactly the same, but maybe something like it. And so what that means is that particularly within the field of human services, that we need to be recognizing the resilience that many older adults may have with something, with an experience like this. We also know that about half of people age 65 and older live alone. About a quarter of people age 85 and older live alone. And so what I wish people knew about many older adults, though not all, of course, is that many older adults are perhaps more used to younger people than living alone and being socially isolated. And again, they may have reservoirs of resilience that they're calling on during a time like this. But those are some of the things that I wish people knew.
Great. So are there things that people can do to be better informed or have an impact on the lives of older adults?
For one thing, I would say I am trying to make more of a point, even than I normally do, to make sure that I'm saying hi to people around me. And that's not only to older adults by any means, that's to everyone, but that certainly includes older adults. The mutual aid that we're seeing pop up in different communities is so important right now. And so to be able to connect with a neighbor who you may or may not have met before, perhaps someone who's older, perhaps someone who's not, asking, is there anything that you need? Is there anything that I can be doing? Is always great practice. So that's something that I think is really important. Something else that I would say is really leveraging the power of technology. Technology, as we're all seeing right now, for many, though not all, of course, is really serving as a beacon, as a beacon of light for many people. And so, of course, not all older adults are online, but for those who are, be in touch. And for those who are not, maybe this is an opportunity to connect with someone either over the phone or from a social distance, walking through, okay, let's set up an email, let's say.
Great. So looking forward, Julie, what are some of your hopes for your work once we resume some level of normalcy, maybe better practices, shifts in policy, improved general awareness and understanding?
I would say absolutely one of the best possible outcomes that could come from such an unfortunate situation like this, in addition to policy reform that protects older adults and the caregivers who work for them. This could be paid professionals, this could be unpaid family caregivers, is hopefully more of a sense of empathy of what it means to be an older adult. Many of us now, regardless of age, are experiencing some of the social isolation that can come often with aging. And so hopefully for everyone, this can be a practice in understanding how to plan proactively for older age and for the future of older age.
Amazing. Thanks again for chatting today, Julie. These are going to be posted on the Human Services Facebook page, and we'll share them around. And we look forward to a time where we can see you all in person. Thanks,
Thank
Julie.
you.